Other night over at the El Dorado, I saw a cat have a heart attack right at the craft table. I mean, he's in the middle of a hot shoot, starts getting all bothered and sweaty and shit. Next thing you know, bam! Old motherfucker just keels over. Now, the joke of it is, the game just keeps going on. I mean, people are yelling, place to 8. Somebody call an ambulance. Place to 9. Place to 6. Somebody dial 911. Meanwhile, this old bastard's laying on the floor, tongue out, turning purple and shit. Like, the people are still playing.
Mr. Anderson, what made you want to get into film? Did you go to film school or?
Well, when I was in high school, I decided I wasn't going to go to film school. I was above all that bullshit, and a few years went by of me being in the industry, and I wasn't the top shit that I wanted to be in Hollywood. I didn't have any short films, and I didn't have any features, so I enrolled actually in 2 film schools. I went to NYU and dropped out, and I went to Emerson and I dropped out.
So why did you drop out?
I had a professor that I didn't agree with, and his philosophy was you have to have a certain movie to be successful, and you have to make it in this way, and I wasn't about that. So I dropped out of NYU and Emerson, and I just lived off of tuition money, and I actually used the rest of that money to fund cigarettes and coffee.
What did that lead to?
I was lucky enough to get into Sundance with that film, and it was actually very popular with the festival circuit. And then Sundance actually had me do this workshop where I developed the movie into something bigger, and that ended up being Hard 8.
Can you tell us a little more about Hard 8?
So I was given $3 million, which is amazing given the circumstances, and I was lucky enough to get Philip Baker Hall and rising stars such as Gwyneth Paltrow and Samuel L. Jackson, who came off of sets like Seven and Pulp Fiction, so they were rising. And then we got Philip Seymour Hoffman and John C. Reilly, who also ended up becoming, enormous stars.
So did you face any obstacles during the production of Hard 8?
Well, they threw the whole fucking book on me. They, for starters, because of the money constraints, $3 million is a lot, but it's not that much. So I was not able to shoot on the equipment that I wanted to. So I had to work around that, and then we actually ran out of money making Hard 8, so the actors had to donate to production costs. Then I had to use the advance that I was going to pay on Boogie Nights to complete funding for Hard 8.
Did you run into any creative difficulties on the set?
I ran into creative differences with both the producers and the editors. I originally wanted to call the movie Sydney, but they changed it to Hard 8. They were worried that people would think the movie is about Australia instead of a gambling film. And then I had an opening sequence that the producers didn't sign off on, and we had a bunch of debates on the runtime of the film. So after all this, I was allowed to release my final cut of the film so long as they call the movie Hard 8. And all of this debate put a 2-year delay on the release of the film. After this, I now demand 100% creative control on all of my pictures.
So it's safe to say that all this turmoil did pay off, I guess.
For the most part, yeah. We're here 20 years later, so.
Well, even being your first feature film, it's clear that there aren't just hints of Anderson work to come. It's pretty prominent throughout. You got your great attention to character detail and character traits, the father-son relationship dynamic, and of course that iconic Anderson tracking shot.